Yo, what up, everybody? It's your boy J100, aka J Fly. It's your boy Dalt. We got the Patriots and the Ravens gear on because Mac Jones balled out on prime time and got the big upset dub on the road against the Bills. Lamar Jackson's doing his thing as well. Dalt, how you feeling today?
Hey, bro, I'm feeling good, but you highlighted it. Hey, who did you say balling out last night, Jay?
The Patriots and my guy Mac Jones. You already know.
Mac Jones going 2 for 3 on Monday night and 19 yards. What?
I will say this though, all night they're talking about Mac Jones has the greatest pass completion percentage as a rookie, and hey, they weren't wrong. 2 for 3 is pretty good.
Yeah, that is pretty good. You're not wrong. 2 for 3. That's what 66.6 percentage. And you know what? Let's just kick it off with that. I mean, we'll get into the intro after this, but let me ask you a question real quick and give me one. I'll hit the intro after this. You give me a 1-minute answer, and then you say hit the intro when you're done.
All right.
Who's to credit more that game, Jay? Bill Belichick or Mac?
Well, if you watch the Monday Night Primetime show, there's 3 guys on that show, and all they talked about was Mac Jones the entire 4 quarters. It was Mac Jones this, Mac Jones that, Mac Jones the baby goat, Mac Jones that. Mac Jones was 5 years old, 6 years old, 7 years old, 8 years old, 9, all the way up to 11. They were showing pictures of him being great. He was writing in his little diary when he was 7 years old how he's going to be the greatest of all time. So that's all they talked about. So according to what I heard, if I had the sound on, Mac Jones is to credit to it. My eyes told me one thing though, but my ears are telling me something else. And that's what it's been like all year. Mac Jones is getting all this Rookie of the Year credit. He's getting all this hype. They're saying he's the best rookie. And he's throwing for 19 yards, 2 out of 3. So you tell me. I'm going to go with the media hype, Dalt, and say that Mac Jones is a GOAT, the baby GOAT. But, yeah, Lamar Jackson, your guy doesn't get this kind of love, Dalt. I don't know why. Lamar will throw for 400 yards and rush for 100, and they'll call him a running back. I don't get it. But, what can you do? Hit the intro, Dalt.
It's up for debate.
Jay, can we just have some fun tonight and start off with a topic that I really want to talk about, bro?
Let's do it.
All right. So, guys, I'm a Philly fan. We all know that. Look, I got to rap. I'm sorry. Gardner, freaking Minshew, baby, going out there and going 20 for 25, 80% completion, 2 touchdowns. He was like 8 for 8 coming out, dude. Guy's a baller. Do we got another QB controversy? Give me an outside opinion. Who are you starting? Because honestly, look, I'd probably start Gardner. It's Washington. It's a game that I don't want to say we're probably going to win because I honestly think that Washington's better than Philly, and that's a hot take. I think that they could beat Philly, though, no doubt. Heineke's playing well. But at the end of the day, I'm just at this point now of where I'm kind of wondering, should we start Minshew? Dude was hella accurate. What do you think from an outside opinion, though, Jay?
So this is what I think. First of all, Antonio Gibson's a baller. I think the football team can still win that division, make a playoff spot, make a run. But for the Eagles, I will say this, though. This is the issue because there's 2 things here. If Hurts is a little hurt and he's not 100%, I think you start Minshew for sure because Minshew has proven that he can go out there and ball out like he did this past week. But here's the problem. Is if Minshew balls out against the football team and they win that game and they win it convincingly, now you really do have that quarterback controversy on your hand, I think, in week 15. Now, that might be the problem for Serrani. I don't know if he wants to deal with that. So if I'm the coach and Hurts can play, I'm probably playing Hurts because Minshew's 1 game away from really taking that spot low-key. Right now, though, I don't know. I still like Hurts better than Minshew because it was the Jets and, it wasn't like some great team he beat. But if he beats a football team, I think we're in some trouble, I think. But, Gardner Minshew, better stats than Mac Jones, and no one's really talking about him like that outside of Philly fans. So We'll see. I don't know. I'm still sticking with my guy Jalen Hurts though, but I do love Minshew, and I think I'm glad Minshew had a shot and chance to shine. How you feeling about it? What are you thinking? You think Minshew's the guy?
So look, I'm not want to say Minshew's the guy because I really like Hurts. I like him as a leader. I think he does all the right things. But honestly, I saw a stat today, and I'll get into this later on 302 Birds. We're gonna have a debate about this. But like at the end of the day, Hurts hasn't thrown for 200 yards since October 14th, Jay. October 14th, and he's a quarterback in the NFL. Not saying that we haven't been winning games. That says a lot too. But what I'm saying at the end of the day is Minshew goes out there and puts up a stat, Jay, puts up a QBR rating of 133.7. That's the highest QB rating by any Eagles QB in the past 8 seasons. That constitutes Carson Wentz, Jalen Hurts, probably Nick Foles, all the way back, I would say, to probably, believe it or not, Mike Vick.
Yeah, that's so Mike Vick looked like, no offense to Mike Vick because he's a legend, but he's looking like an old man on those analysis shows he does on Thursdays or Sundays, whatever he does. So
yeah, he's getting up there.
I mean, for him to be in the conversation, that's crazy. I mean, that's crazy for 2 reasons. One, Carson Wentz. We remember, like, was it Minshew Mania or whatever it was when people were like,
"Oh, it was Pennsylvania." That's what they were calling the state, Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania, and yeah, for him to do that in one game and have a better, and for Carson Wentz to never have a QBR higher than what Minshew had on Sunday, that kind of does speak a lot to me because Hurts,
right?
You would expect Hurts to have a great QBR in his first 2 years, especially because his dual threat ability is what really makes him, so like lovable and great. But yeah, that's impressive to be out throwing Carson Wentz out here.
That's exactly what I'm saying. I mean, look, I'm not saying that Minshew's the future. I'm just saying if Minshew's the hot player, kind of treat it like high school. You can put in players for a half in the regular season. People are going to judge you, yes, but are you probably going to win a game? Yes, because it is very hard for an NFL team to game plan for one QB, let alone two. So, I don't know. I just really like the idea of Minshew getting more snaps. I'm going to say this. If Hurts goes out against Washington's very good defense and throws 2 picks in the first half, or maybe 3, probably 3, he's getting benched, and Minshew's coming in the second half. And you know who's going to hate that? Apparently, Jeffrey Lurie, because apparently the Eagles are having a controversy internally with our GM and our owner, where our GM doesn't want Jalen Hurts, and our owner wants Jalen. He wants to give him more time. So, having that controversy internally, number 1, is not good for a team. Number 2, somebody can come out and become the starter out of nowhere on a team like that. So, I wouldn't be shocked if I like him a lot. I'm a big Minshew guy. I'm not going to lie to you. I just like a passer. I like a guy that plays with the run game. Not that I don't like Hurts. I just really like Minshew's personality. Like, they're saying he's joking around in the huddle, stuff like that, having a good time. You can't not like Minshew. I don't know. How do you feel about him, like, as an outsider?
No, I like Minshew a lot. I've always liked Minshew. I've actually been really big on Minshew since he was in Jacksonville. If you remember the Jacksonville days where he was doing his thing with the mustache and stuff. I really like Minshew a lot. And I was actually kind of – I mean, it's tough because obviously Trevor Lawrence was this big hype. You can't – if you have the opportunity to have Trevor Lawrence when he was so hyped up, it's kind of – I'm not bummed out, but I was kind of bummed out Minshew's not starting this year and he wasn't with the Jags. I thought he could do good things. But, yeah, I like Minshew. It's still a tough thing. I would take Minshew over Trevor Lawrence. I'll take Minshew over Zach Wilson. And I'd even take Minshew – I mean, we just talked about the numbers. Mac Jones threw for 19 yards. Minshew threw for over 200. So I'll take Minshew over Mac Jones. Take Minshew, of course, over Trey Lance, who hasn't even played, and I'll take him over Justin Fields. So that being said, I wouldn't take him over Jalen Hurts, and that's what's tough because that's who he's playing on the same team with. So I don't know. Joe Morley's in here saying that Minshew is overrated.
Joe, dude, the dude just threw for 80%. Like, give the guy some credit. Like, you wanna. He's kind of the boy. Like, I don't know. I just think that when a QB goes out and does that and has that energy with the fans, I mean, there's the video of him, like, going up and beating the shit out of his dad after the game, like, like his dad's like, Jesus, fake, like, Gardner, calm down, son. Like, God damn. Like, and he's like, we just won. And his dad's like, chill, son, Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Like, but I'm a huge fan of him. I love his energy. It feeds off on this city. We're maniacs. And you know what maniacs love? Jay?
What was that?
Mania. And it's Minshew Mania, baby.
Minshew Mania. What you gonna do, brother?
What you gonna do, brother? Moving on to our next topic. Dude, did you see that Patriots game? Or I'm sorry, not that Patriots. I'm getting the P's mixed up. Pittsburgh. Did you see that Steelers-Ravens game?
You know, I seen the highlight. That's the one game I didn't want to like switch to just because I was like, I don't want to see Pittsburgh. I've seen too much Pittsburgh this year. They're trash. They're garbage. The Ravens should railroad them. And I watched the highlights, and they lost because of that Lamar Jackson toss to Mark Andrews where he, couldn't catch it. I don't know whose fault that was. Some people say it's an overthrow. Some people say he could have caught it. But that's what cost him the game. And the Steelers somehow are hanging in there. How you feeling about that, dog?
So I watched that game with my dad. Randy, what's up, brother? Appreciate you for coming
That's funny. That's actually funny.
We are a QB factory. I appreciate you for recognizing our contribution to the NFL and our one Super Bowl. But look, Jay, here's what I'm saying. And appreciate you, Randy. Thanks for coming through, brother. Stick around, grab some popcorn, have some fun. Me and Jay are kicking it. But AFC North predictions, Jay, that's a great question, bro, because there's a lot of players I like in that division. I love Najee Harris. Love Lamar. But I think the Ravens could have won that game if Lamar would have put the ball 2 or 3 inches closer. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure. For sure.
It wasn't that bad of a game. It was just that close, So I honestly thought that the Ravens going to win it, and I think a lot of people are saying, yes, the Ravens lost. But don't forget, the Ravens went down the field with 1 minute and 10 seconds left when they should have lost the game. Drove down, had their way with the Steelers' defense, which is a good defense, and scored. So, I mean, I'm not saying that it was an impressive performance by the Ravens, but when it was clutch time, when it was time to show up, they showed up. That says a lot about the team. So, give me the Ravens in my prediction. It's going to take some time, though. What do you got, Jay?
Well, I want to say something really quick, and that is that throw by Lamar that was a little further, a few inches out than it should have been. Mac Jones, my guy, who won the game for the Bills with that throw to Jonnu Smith, if you remember, for like 13 yards, 13 is 19 yards. It was kind of high and overthrown. It was worse than the Mark Andrews, Lamar Jackson throw. And Jonnu Smith went up there with one hand, tipped it, grabbed it, got what you could call maybe the biggest catch of the game for the Patriots, I would say for sure. Mark Andrews could have done the same thing. So Lamar Jackson and Mac Jones should have thrown better balls on that. But if you think about that, for Mac Jones. That was over half of his passing yards and half of his completions were on that Jonnu Smith catch. So Mark Andrews, you got to catch that. Lamar Jackson, throw it better, of course. But with that being said, I just want to clarify that because Lamar Jackson, you had it right there. Mark Andrews, like someone's got to do something. Like one of you two. But anyway, I still want to take the Bengals, especially after this loss to the Steelers. I'm taking the Bengals.
Yeah.
Today's Mac Jones Day, by the way. Yeah, I'm taking the Bengals. But today's Mac Jones Day, if you haven't noticed, because I've talked about Mac Jones at least 3 times already. But I'm taking the Bengals, though. I'm taking the Bengals to win the AFC. I've been on this since the preseason. I know Joe Morley hates the Bengals and he hates Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon's healthy. He's been healthy all year, balling out. Jamar Chase is a beast. T. Higgins is a beast. Tyler Boyd is not that bad. He's your wide receiver 3. Joe Burrow is healthy this year. The defense is looking all right. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, give me the Bengals, and I've been saying it for a while. Give me the Bengals to win the AFC North.
All right. I like it. Look,
And for the first time, though, ever.
Really? I think that's a bold prediction, Jay. But I'll tell you what, bro. If there's any year in the past decade, and you remember how good that Bengals team was when Andy Dalton and A.J. Green were hitting on all cylinders, probably 5 or 6 years ago. They should have made the playoffs. But if there's any year that I'd bank on the Bengals to make the playoffs, it's this year. So I don't doubt that it's definitely possible. If not wild card, I think Ravens and Bengals are my 2 picks to make it into the playoffs from that division. That division is stacked. Like, that's a tough division, almost as bad as the NFC West or whatever. But moving on to our next topic, and this is something you brought up. I want to try to get into more NBA content. So to all our NBA fans out there, what's up? But what were you talking about with Ben Simmons earlier? Why don't you explain that, and then I'll kind of give my feedback.
All right, so yeah, all it was Kyrie Irving. He's been playing for the Nets. We all know this. He hasn't played an actual game, though, is the problem, so he's not really playing for the Nets. They're trying to – I hear there's trade rumors going around, the Indiana Pacers for Domantas Sabonis and Miles Turner. or the Sixers possibly for Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons also been trade talks with the Portland Trailblazers for possibly CJ McCollum and a bunch of draft picks, like it's like 3 first-round draft picks and like a few second-rounders, something like that. So, Dalt, how you feeling? Do you think Kyrie should be going to be shipped off to Indiana or Philadelphia? And do you think Ben Simmons should be traded for a bunch of draft picks and CJ McCollum over to Portland? How are you feeling about all these trade talks?
So I'll tell you what, Jay, that's a phenomenal question asked by a phenomenal person, to be honest.
Thank you. Phenomenal response.
But look, here's what I'll say. I would love to get CJ McCollum for a guy that's not even playing for my team right now. Like, bro, like I don't know much about basketball, but get out there. I get it. Mental health, it's a thing. I totally understand where you're coming from, Ben. Philly is not an easy city to play for. I totally understand where you're coming from. But the only way that you're going to make peace with this city and you're going to make peace mentally is to go the fuck out there and ball the fuck out. You got to show them what's up, man. You're a baller. Go out there, pop the fucking tray, shoot some threes, show them who you are, show them why you came to this city, and we will flourish you with love. I promise. I still got love for you, Ben Simmons. I know you got it in you, bro. Come on, man. Put it together. I know a lot of people don't, but put it together. You got it.
Well, see, that's what I think is everyone's problem. So this is everyone's talking about, right? So with Kyrie, you get Miles Turner, I said Domantas Sabonis. I meant Miles Turner and Karis LeVert are actually who they're talking about. And obviously the Patriots get the best point guard in the NBA, so they win, right? But the Nets, guy's not playing, and they get Miles Turner. They need a big man, so it works out. Now on the Sixers side, same thing you just said, though. You just said it perfectly. Perfect thing to say. Ben Simmons is not even playing for the Sixers. A lot of Sixers fans are mad because they think that McCollum's not going to do anything for the team. They already have Maxey. They already have these other Curry. They already have these other guys. But if you get 3 first-round draft picks for the next 3 years and a few seconds, and then you get McCollum and then you trade him away for whoever you want, or you just you waive him, or do whatever you want to do. CJ McCollum, you don't need him. Just do whatever you want with him. Give him back to the Blazers for another draft pick. I don't know, trade him for another draft pick somewhere else for a first-rounder to the Magic or something, the Pistons or something. But if you can turn Ben Simmons into draft picks, even though he's worth more, I'd rather have 4 possibly first-round draft picks over the next few years than have a guy that's not playing for me, even though I love Ben Simmons. So that's my opinion on it. I think make the trade, Philly, because Ben Simmons don't like y'all. He don't want to play for you guys. You guys will be better in the future. Rebuild a little bit, get some draft picks. You haven't beat still.
And Tyrese Maxey, bro. What's your opinion on him? I mean,
I love Maxey, and this is something that I've talked about and on the show before. I said trade Ben Simmons for Jamal Murray in a first rounder or maybe 2 first rounders, and then you have first rounders anyway, and then you have Jamal Murray who can back up Tyrese Maxey because you're going to need those 10 to 12 minutes a game to have. And who would be a better backup point guard in the NBA to give you 12 solid minutes than Jamal Murray coming off of an injury, gets to ease his way back in the league. He's a bucket. Like if he comes back with the second string guys, he'll probably be the best scorer out of the whole unit, and he gets his 10, 12 minutes to ball out, be his Lou Will 6 man of the year type role. And I would love that for the Sixers. I think the Sixers win a championship if they have a 6-man like Jamal Murray coming out there for 12 minutes just balling. But that's my opinion. If they want to win now, you trade for Jamal Murray and a few draft picks. If you want to win in a few years, just get as many draft picks as you possibly can for Ben Simmons. But yeah, I like Ben. I say, just get it done. So.
I think that it's something too that the longer we wait, the more decreasing value he has, because teams are going to be like, I don't want a guy that really doesn't want to play or is comfortable not being on the court. Like if it was LeBron, he would be going crazy. He'd be like, let me get the fuck out there. I'm going to go suit up for, a different team. Like, let me go. Like,
yeah. That's how we've seen him before.
Chill with not playing. Like, he's just living life, hitting on the Jenners, trying to get in the Kardashian family any way he can. And he's living life. So shout out to Ben.
Well, this is crazy though, because you're a big football guy. Obviously, I'm a big football guy. In the NFL, it's like this is your team. You play for the Browns, Jarvis Landry, and you have to play for the Browns. That's it. Like they suck, and you have to play for them. Jared Goff, you play for the Lions.
Odell,
for them. You know what I'm saying? Whoever it is, the Texans. You know what I'm saying? Nico Collins, you're a great rookie, but they suck. Brandon Cooks, they suck. You don't play. So, but in the NBA, we have John Wall who hasn't played a game because he wants to get traded from the Rockets, and so he won't play until he's traded, and they can't find someone to trade for, so he's just not playing, even though he's the best player on their team. And the Rockets are suffering for it. And then now you got Ben Simmons not playing because he wants to get traded. You got Kyrie Irving, who his situation is different, but a similar thing. He's not playing. So it's a different world that we live in. James Harden last year for the Rockets didn't play until he got traded to the Nets. So with that being said, though, do you think that players in the NBA that have that more leverage where they can just say that they're sitting out and they're not going to play, they still have some trade value, like you said, their trade value diminishes, but do you think that is better for the NBA as opposed to the NFL, or do you like how the NFL kind of handles things where it's like you play for the team that you're on, and when you get traded, you play for them?
I think that's a great question, number one. But number two, I think it hurts the value of the team. You know what I mean?
100%.
When you see guys that can just do whatever they want. Now, I'm not saying that, like, look at even just the vaccination thing that just went on in the NFL. And I'm not one to get political, but Aaron Rodgers goes out and doesn't get vaccinated. Everybody knows it, and he gets, like, a fine. Still is able to play. AB gets not vaccinated, and they find it out, and they suspend him for 3 games. So it's like, where do you guys draw the line? You know what I mean? It's, I don't know. That's one thing we can definitely talk about is the NFL and just like the league not being consistent in things and just picking and choosing. And it's upsetting. It's upsetting as a fan because you want to see uniformity across the board. You want to see unison. You want to see the same punishment for guys that do the same thing pretty much. And when one guy gets suspended for 3 games, one guy gets a fine, well, hey, they're all NFL players. Big secret. They can afford the fine. That's like charging me $20 or something. Hey, here's $20. You know what I mean? Now, don't get me wrong. $20, that's going to hurt me as a young man to lose. But it's not going to break my bank. You know what I'm saying? Like
No,
it's just like to them, that's pocket change, bro. So at the end of the day, it's just really upsetting to see as a fan to see the NFL tolerate that. I don't know. What do you think, Jay?
No, I mean, how I feel about it is, I think AB should have never gotten suspended. I think, like you said, a fine would have been fine, whatever, because you have to show that you care about whatever it is going on. Whatever, I get it. Like, it's politics, like you said. Fine, just fine him, whatever. Like, you did Aaron Rodgers. I was fine with that. I was on Aaron Rodgers' side. I don't even like it. I'm not a big Aaron Rodgers guy. He's a great quarterback. I'm not a big Aaron Rodgers guy off the field, but he was right. Like, it's his personal choice. You know what I'm saying? Fine him, whatever. AB should have got the same deal. Mike Edwards, I believe, on the Buccaneers should have got the same deal. The only argument I've heard that makes sense, which I've known, because these fake vaccination cards have been going around for a while, and everyone wants to get one, and everyone's saying, "Oh, you should get one." I know a guy, and I'm like, "No, I'm not getting one because I know how this country works. They're gonna lock me up. I'm not messing with it." So on that side, that's what happens, though. So AB, they're saying, "What's a felony?" Because he was using a fake vaccination card. Well, then, if it's a felony, then you have the local Tampa Bay police or the state, whoever you want that messes with that. You have them deal with it outside of football. But as far as the NFL is concerned, that should be the same fine that they gave Aaron Rodgers, no suspensions. And if he ends up locked up or whatever because of a felony or in court for it, then so be it. That's a whole different conversation that he took that risk of doing. So as far as NFL, I agree. They need to be more consistent because at the end of the day, it's the same thing, just dressed differently, obviously, because of state laws. But, yeah, I agree with you, dog.
It's like one of those things, too, Jay, that I'm just like, here's how I would put it. As a fan, it just sucks because, like, it's not that I like one player over the other. It's just, like, I feel like as a player, I'd be like, what the hell? Like, where do you guys draw the line? It's like, and even if I wasn't the guy that was getting, pushed into it or something, I'd kind of just be, I don't know, upset, frustrated. So to see just like the NFL deal with that, it's time for a new commissioner. It's been time for a new commissioner, I should say, right? Like Roger Goodell is washed up. The players don't even like him. The highlight of his year is when the draft happens and he gets to dap up like 32 young guys that like put on a fake smile because they're just happy because they went to the NFL. Great.
That's true.
That's true. He's just like, that one guy that like lifted him all the way up a couple years ago. That was like that was a highlight of his career, bro. Like I'm not even gonna lie. Like,
so this is the thing. I'll say this, and I will reply. We have some comments on the TikTok. Seahawks are live. Appreciate you for the love on the hair. Appreciate you for real. We got wasn't Rodgers like allergic to something in the vaccine, or am I tripping? I think he just didn't he didn't like that there's obviously not natural things in the vaccine and things like that. He wanted all natural immunization or whatever. That's why he decided to do things his way, which I respect. But I don't think he was physically allergic to anything. I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, he just didn't like that stuff was being put in his body. But yeah, no, this is the thing that I will say about Roger Goodell. I'll say two things about him. One, the NFL is still a great product, so I can't hit on him too much because I do love watching the NFL. Like I turn on the NBA, I got League Pass because I'm like I gotta watch more NBA. I haven't watched NBA in a while. And like first game in, it's like, yo, this is like trash. Like everything's a foul, everything's like a challenge and a stop and a review, and it's like, bro, I'm like bored. I can't get into this game. Then I go to the next game. It's supposed to be a better game. It was a West Coast game. I'm like, all right, Suns or whoever's playing. And I love the Suns. And it was just the same thing. Just everything's a foul. Everything's a challenge. Anytime anyone fouls somebody, like the guy will slap them across the arm super hard and then just start doing this challenge, foul. And then they challenge it, and it's like 3 minutes of them watching this guy hack this guy, and he shoots free throws anyway. It's super annoying. So at least Roger Goodell, like I think Adam Silver needs to go. Like I love David Stern. Adam Silver needs to get out of there. He's making the league soft because I understand the players want these things because it benefits them. Like Trae Young puts up 20 points a game off of getting these terrible foul calls because they review everything and they give him the benefit of the doubt. And all these other guys do the same thing. Even the great LeBron does it. But I don't like it. Adam Silver, get out of here. Let's play real basketball where we're going back and forth the entire time. We're shooting threes, we're dunking, we're playing basketball, we're playing defense. Not everything's a stoppage. So with that being said, I can't be too mad at Roger Goodell. But if they do end up getting rid of him and getting someone else, I would think that it'd probably be more of the same stuff with these suspensions and fines because you know how it is. If Aaron Rodgers is a top 5 quarterback, he's a top 5 product on the field. They're not going to suspend him no matter what he does. He could get a vaccine thing and like break it and throw it and say "F you" to like Roger Goodell's face, and he's not going to get suspended. So you know what the next guy does that, he's out for the year.
Roger Goodell will be like, "You're giving me attention. Thank you." Like,
that's it.
Anyway. Jay, can you show them that Lions stat that you were telling me about before the video?
Yes.
Or tell the people. So Jay, guys, found a scenario where the Lions fans that are listening, yes, you heard this correctly. Y'all can still make the playoffs on December 8th, 2021. Jay, tell them what needs to happen.
This is what needs to happen. Before I get into this, though, I do want to ask you this one question before I get into it. What are the chances that now you know the Lions have a chance? What percentage do you give them to make the playoffs, to actually do it?
Great question, Jay. So we talked about this a little bit before the video. I changed my mind a little bit, Jay. I'm going to move my percent. Originally, before the video, I was at 5. And I think that's too high. Now I'm going to move it down to 2%.
2%?
Because the Eagles are trash. I love the Eagles. But when it comes down to game time, bro, we can sometimes choke. Love my Birds to death. But sometimes we can choke in clutch time. So kind of worried about that. We will see what happens, though, at the end of the day. I mean, you know, it is what it is. Go Birds. And I think that we'll still make the playoffs. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to discount the Lions. Because all the teams that are in the wild card right now have shown that they're inconsistent. Like the Vikings, the 49ers, the Eagles, sure. All of these NFC teams have weaknesses, and I think because of those weaknesses, as an NFL fan, man, you can never count out somebody. I've seen crazy things. I've seen the Eagles win the Super Bowl. So I'm never counting out anything, man.
Oh, side note, though, I had a dream the other night that the Eagles actually beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Yeah, and it wasn't like the Tom Brady Patriots. It wasn't like an old. It was
like Jalen Hurts, Mac Jones.
I think it was Jalen Hurts and Mac Jones, if I remember correctly. It's crazy. I had a dream that I was like the Eagles on the Super Bowl. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but if it comes true, though, remember I'm the one who this is my mind that came into existence.
I'm gonna have to buy you a Jalen Hurts jersey then if that happens. If that's true.
I would love it and I would rock it.
I know you would rock it. That's why I buy you one. So right here, as a bet, as you made your bet with Jack on 302 Birds, if the Eagles win a Super Bowl, fuck it, not even beat the Patriots. If the Eagles win a Super Bowl this year, I'll buy you a Jalen Hurts jersey.
Let's do it. I'm 1,000% with it. Go Eagles, go Birds. Let's get it.
I might even if the Eagles make the NFC Championship. That's how generous I'm feeling.
I love it. Let's get it. Stamp it.
If they have that, that would be insane. And all they got to do is get hot at the end of the year. But can you tell them what the Lions needed to do to get into the playoffs?
Let's get into it. I got you right now, dog. Here we go. So the first thing the Lions need to do, obviously, they need to win every single game left on their schedule. That's the Denver Broncos, which is winnable. The Arizona Cardinals, which probably is not winnable, let's be honest. But you never know. Atlanta, very winnable. Seattle, very winnable. Green Bay, winnable. Next, the Panthers and Falcons have to tie in Week 14, and the Jets have to win. That seems nearly impossible for the Jets to win, and then plus the Falcons and Panthers have to tie, which is like already crazy. Going down, Washington has to keep going. So Washington has to win out every single game, and the Vikings, I believe, have to lose like every single game, something like that. It's actually like it's like a crazy amount of stuff. I'm not gonna get into it, but literally Washington football team has to beat like it's crazy, dog. Like it's literally football team has to beat the Eagles, Cowboys have to beat the Giants, Falcons have to beat the Niners, Rams have to beat the Seahawks, Buccaneers have to beat the Saints, Bears have to beat the Vikings. That all has to happen in that next week, and then the week after, the Seahawks have to and Giants both have to win. The Titans have to beat the Niners, the Bucs have to beat the Panthers, Rams have to beat the Vikings, Giants have to beat the Eagles. Seahawks have to beat the Bears, and the Dolphins have to beat the Saints. And then week 17, finally, the Texans have to win, and they have to beat here, I'll just go through it. Let's have it. The Bills have to beat the Falcons, the Bears have to beat the Giants, the Panthers have to beat the Saints, football team have to beat the Eagles, the Texans have to beat the Niners, and the Packers have to beat the Vikings. And if all that happens, so 35 different things have to happen. If they all happen, the Lions make the playoffs.
That would be insane. Thank you, Jay, for presenting that. But there's one last thing I want to talk about tonight. We got to wrap up in about 4 minutes just because I got to teach one of my friends how to do something for 302 Birds. But one thing I did want to talk about, Jay, before we wrap up, is head coaching changes in the NFL that could potentially be happening soon. We know the Bears have been struggling. If Viv was here, we'd be talking about, and I'm sure Viv would be saying, fire Mike Zimmer. A lot of head coaching changes going to be happening next year. Raiders potentially hiring somebody next year. I think, maybe the Jets if they don't do well. Browns, I think even, I love Stefanski, but there are a lot of people that I think could be on thin ice if their team is not doing as well this year. Even Sirianni, I think he might be on thin ice. I'm not saying that he's going to get fired for sure. I don't think that he will, but hey, you never know with any organization in the NFL nowadays. So let's talk about some of the obvious ones, the Bears, the Vikings. Who are some candidates that let's just start off for the love of Viv. Viv, we got you at the Vikings. Jay, who do you think is a good candidate to replace somebody as our head coach for the Vikes?
So if I'm playing the game correctly, let me know if I'm not. I'm going Mike Zimmer. I want to keep Mike Zimmer for the Vikings.
Really?
Yeah, I actually like Mike Zimmer. Like a lot of these coaches we talked about, Nagy, I can't stand him. We'll go to other teams, but Mike Zimmer, I really like a lot. I don't think it's his fault. I don't really think it's his fault. Kirk Cousins has kind of underperformed in like big time situations, like against the Lions. Thielen's hurt now. Dalvin Cook can't stay healthy to save his life. So I just think that you get rid of Dalvin Cook, you keep Alexander Madison, you get maybe some other weapons on defense, and you keep Mike Zimmer. That's what I'm thinking. Who do you have coaching the Vikings next year, though, Adult?
So, kind of a Zimmer here. No pun intended, but kind of a Zimmer here, Jay. Give me the boy coming off employment, who I predicted to come out for the Raiders early in the year, Dougie P, coming off for retirement. How cool would it be if Doug Peterson goes out and takes the team that he won a Super Bowl in their stadium and coaches them and turns their franchise around? I think that would be so cool. I think he has the tools to do it. I honestly think what the hell was the guy's name? The Eagles had two coordinators that I really like with Doug Peterson, Frank Reich and John DeFilippo. I think John DeFilippo was in Minnesota. He might have been there recently. If he can come back to Minnesota and Doug Peterson's coaching and they can kind of get their way, look, they have some tools. They have some real tools. A lot more than the Eagles did when they won the Super Bowl. I'll say that. Harrison Smith, he's getting old, but Harrison Smith, Eric Kendricks, Anthony Barr. Then we get on the offense. Kirk Cousins, he's not amazing, but he's okay. If not, you can put in your backup, Kellen Mond, who, hey, he could be a rusher. But at the end of the day, you got Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen. You got a tight end that's okay. You got the right tackle who went to my high school, Brian O'Neill, who's the second highest paid right tackle in the league. My guy. It's over if Doug goes there. I've always been hot on the Vikings, but they're young, and I think that they're ready. What do you think? Could you see that potentially?
I like, and I'm gonna tell you this: Doug Peterson may be my answer for every coach that I want that I think should get fired this year. So I want Mike Zimmer, but every other team, I think he'd be great on the Bears. He'd be great on the Raiders. He'd be great on. I think there's another team I don't think should have a coach anymore, but for sure the Bears and the Raiders need a new coach. But yeah, I like Mike Zimmer though. I'm gonna stay strong with Mike Zimmer, and we got Brandon here saying the Vikings just need a quarterback. Kellen Mond was drafted, so he may be the answer. Kirk Cousins. I think I give Kirk Cousins one more year to show what he could do, see if he can make a playoff run next year, if not this year. But that's what I would do personally. I give him one more shot. But Kellen Mond's right there waiting in the wings for sure. Kellen Mond.
I think that Kellen Mond could be good, but at the end of the day, you're right. They're going to give him one more year. Really, other than that, I mean, I don't have anything else. We hit on everything I wanted to hit on. This was just going to be a short show. Guys, if you're not doing anything, come to 302 Birds after this at 9 o'clock. If you aren't already, follow J100 on TikTok. This guy works really hard on the TikTok. Also, follow our TikTok at UpForDebate podcast. There it is. I didn't know if it had an underscore. And our Instagram at UpForDebate_podcast. I need to fix that. But anyway, guys, thank you always for tuning in. Thank you for the love. I mean, I don't really got anything else wrapping up. Jay, you got anything?
Cal State Bakersfield playing against Sac State today. I'm going to be watching that in about 30 minutes. And then Mac Jones, one more shout out. The greatest rookie quarterback, the baby goat, the next Tom Brady out here. 19 yards, 2 for 3. This guy is too nasty out here. And he's still winning with those stats. Anyway, Dalt, it's been real. Much love. Follow Dalt. You already know 302 Birds coming up. Watch that. He's got to get onto that right now. But do the honors, my brother. Hit the intro. It's much love.
Thank you, Jay. Always appreciate you. Always appreciate our fans. Brandon, love you, brother. Have a good night. From Lamar and Rob Gronkowski, have a good night. This one's for you, Brandon.
It's up for dub.